Hey guys, hope you are all having a great day. Today we had some pretty big news coming out from AMC. I also came across a Bloomberg interview with Reggie Fils, a previous GameStop board member, regarding GameStop's current business strategy. We have quite a bit to go over today, but before we start, let me quickly state that I am not a financial advisor, and that all content discussed in this channel is simply information gathered that I deem important for people to know, so that they can make informed decisions. All efforts are aimed to better understand the nature of the current market in anticipation of the greatest squeeze in financial history. Let's dive right in. Recently, we saw GameStop's chairman Ryan Cohen acquire a large portion of shares for Bed Bath & Beyond. Today, news broke out that meme stock favorite AMC has begun take steps to diversify way beyond their core theater and popcorn business. In a very surprising move, AMC has decided to not only do business in the silver screens, but in silver mining. Today they announced that they plan to invest $27 million to buy a 22% stake on Hycroft Mining, which is a Nevada-based public company that operates a gold and silver mine. Another investor, Eric Sprott, will also be spending $28 million for a 22% stake in the company. Hycroft shares rose by more than 20% as soon as the news hit. Adam Aron said that this Hycroft investment is the result of AMC having identified a company in an unrelated industry that appears to be just like AMC a year ago. Aron stated that for a variety of reasons, Hycroft has been facing severe and immediate liquidity issues, and AMC is playing on the offense again with this new bold diversification move. Hycroft shares have fallen more than 70% in the past 12 months, and the company has been losing money like crazy. Hycroft President and CEO Diane Garrett said they couldn't be more pleased to announce this transformation investment in the future of the company. This is a pretty big infusion of money for this small company, and is yet another huge step for AMC to diversify its core business, which has the potential to attract a myriad of new investors. Lastly, Aron said investors should think creatively and boldly about AMC's future, because within the company, they have been thinking creatively and boldly about their future. I have said it before and I will say it again, do not sleep on AMC. This stock has the goodwill of its shareholders and the creativity and spark to make it an easy purchase for any serious investor looking to get a good return on investment post-squeeze. Fundamentally speaking, this company keeps growing more and more appealing. Now, let's talk about GameStop. In an interview with Bloomberg, ex-Nintendo president and COO Reggie Fils talked about GameStop and why he believes it can be successful in its strategy. Reggie talks about how GameStop needs to pivot the number of ways it embraces online commerce and find a way to better satisfy its consumer base. He then talks about how GameStop was able to be around for the launch of the new generation video game consoles and how they were able to be solvent and maximize the sales of these new systems as well as the software where the profitability is. He said Ryan Cohen, who at the time had purchased 10% of the shares, wanted to see even more aggressive change. The interviewer asks Reggie what he had come to think about Ryan Cohen's strategy, to which Reggie said that the issue was that as the strategy was beginning to be developed, he asked some significant changes to be made but he was rebuffed. The perspective of the rest of the members was that they wanted to keep the team small, which Reggie said did not understand the business of video games nor the players, which he took to mean that GameStop did not want any new ideas that would change things. After he said this, as you might imagine, corporate media outlets began publishing articles about how Reggie left the board and how he was just too good for GameStop. Then, lastly, he was asked what he thinks of the strategy now, and Reggie says there has not been an articulated strategy because the company is afraid other companies might steal their ideas. Watching the interview, Reggie left a pretty sour taste in the name of GameStop. Now, the things he talked about aren't wrong and he is 100% entitled to have that opinion of GameStop. But I do find it funny how no one in the media talked about how he began the interview saying he believes GameStop can make a turnaround and become profitable. They ignored all this and instead focused on that very last part of the interview of why he left GameStop. What GameStop is doing could be considered as new, as they are set to implement an NFT marketplace. It is difficult to project exactly what they expect to happen when this is uncharted territory that has recently started getting attention. I don't doubt that GameStop doesn't want their thunder to be stolen away by a bigger company with more cash to throw around, so they are trying to keep everything hush-hush for the moment. From the business background where Reggie comes from, I totally get why he decided to part ways with GameStop. However, I do believe that long-term wise, there was little to not venue by which GameStop could remain in business if it went about its business the way it always has been. They have instead been working diligently to enhance their e-commerce as well as work behind the doors with other parties to launch the best and biggest NFT platform. There is a lot of risk, there is a lot of uncertainty in going about business. The traditional way was certainly not going to work, even if improvements were made on the customer experience side of things, which is where Reggie appears that he wanted the fundamental changes to the business to be made. GameStop is doing well. They have a huge war chest of money to remain operational even at a loss for a long time coming. They understood that selling video games was not the best way to go about business, because digital sales are set to continue growing over the years. Instead, they are now embracing new business opportunities, which is also what AMC has been doing. I remain super bullish about all the recent changes GameStop has been doing. Today we saw the main benchmarks advance after the pullback they have been experiencing for the last couple of days. Investors were pleasantly surprised to get fresh data showing producer prices were unchanged in the month of February for the first time in a year, which is being interpreted by many investors to be a sign that the tide may be turning on inflation. The S&P 500 rose 2.2%, the Dow Jones climbed 1.8% and the Nasdaq rose 2.9%. More and more news are coming out that there is a new outbreak in China, presenting risks for traders which will need to be contended with. China recorded a sharp rise in daily COVID infections. Investors are also paying close attention to the progress that is happening in Ukraine. Tomorrow is the big day which investors are bracing for. The Fed could place short-term interest rates above near zero levels for the first time since 2018. I talked about this in much more detail on Sunday's video as well as what analysts expect to happen, so go watch that video if you missed it. So far, all signs are pointing to a quarter-point interest rate hike from the Fed when they meet on Wednesday, so the biggest concerns right now are how many more will take place this year and how quickly are they to come. Investors simply want solid answers so that they can price in these changes on the markets. Once they do, we could see volatility slowly regress and markets begin to recover, so long as nothing out of the ordinary happens in Ukraine or in China. Again, now with another outbreak, this could paint a relatively less bullish year since it could affect supply chains and how markets react. Let's now talk about today. The Fed submitted over $1.583 trillion in reverse repo operations today. Dark pool trades for AMC accounted for 51% of the total volume today, while dark pool trades for GameStop accounted for 47% of the total volume today. AMC had a larger amount of buy orders than sell orders, with GameStop also having a larger amount of buy orders than sell orders. Now, let's talk about performance. AMC had a bullish day, gaining over 6%. It began trading very bullishly during the pre-market run-up, staying above the VWAP. Upon market opening, AMC dipped down, finding support at 13.18 before bouncing back up. After moving past 14.20, AMC regressed and stayed beneath the VWAP until later in the day when it broke the VWAP resistance and moved to 14.69. After a small dip, AMC closed at 14.48, above the VWAP. Tomorrow, AMC will have solid support at 13.65, 13.50 and 13.20. Resistance will be met at 14.75, 15.30 and 15.75. GameStop had a bullish day, gaining over 5% for the day. Upon market opening, GameStop dipped from 82 to 79. It remained there for a while before bouncing up strong, reaching 87.56. After this run, GME shorters began attacking the stock, bringing it back down to 79.10 before a bounce took it to 83.53. GameStop closed at 82.64, above the VWAP. Tomorrow, GME will find support at 79, 77 and 75. Resistance will be met at 83.50, 86 and 88. All investor eyes will be on alert tomorrow as it will be crucial to how we trade. A more hawkish Fed could have stocks retreat. If everything runs as expected, we could begin to see markets slowly rally. Then on Thursday we have the GameStop earnings report, which ought to be really good. I am super excited about what they have to show. Shorters have been targeting GameStop for the intended purpose of defeating it as much as possible prior to the earnings. And that is all I have for you guys today. Thank you all so very much for making it to the end of the video. Let me know your thoughts down in the comments below. And most importantly, remember to come join my Discord. If you want to support this channel, I have a Patreon link in the description as well as some one-time donation links for Cash App and PayPal. Thank you again for being a part of this channel. I will continue striving for better content. Enjoy the rest of your day, keep on buying the dip and to the moon.